Hi, I'm Patrick Doyle, and somewhere along this trail are the remains of a stone structure called the Witch's Castle.
The Witch's Castle can be found along the Balch Creek, where the Wildwood and the Lower Maclay trails meet in Forest Park, which is a couple miles east of downtown Portland, Oregon. The ruins are shrouded in mystery, myth, and urban legend.
One story I was told is that these two intersecting trails used to be used by fur and goods traders, and this is all that remains of a trading post built in the early 1600s. I've also heard that there's a lot of paranormal activity around the building. Shadows, strange noises, and voices, and it's cloaked in unanswered questions. But in the paranormal community, our quest is fueled by questions. So while I start my investigation, let's explore a few. For years now, the norm has been, if you feel a cold spot, you pull out your thermometer, 70, 69, 68, 67. Then you take your EMF detector, or your K2 now, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, and there would be your evidence. But then came along the thermal imaging camera. And I'm guessing we were hoping to maybe possibly see that cold spot as a humanoid looking figure. But what was actually captured were heat signatures. And that's where I'm kind of confused. I know there's no answers here, but how can something be hot and cold at the same time? Is it possible that all, or 90% or so, of all thermal image hits are just reflections of heat, or caused by something that's not paranormal? Because if a ghost gave off a heat signature, when we walk through it like a cold spot, wouldn't that change in air temperature be as obvious as someone just peed in the pool? When it comes to aliens, I do believe that there is other life in the universe. It's just too big. But I don't think they've visited us yet. So the human race as a whole is still too primitive, and we're consumed by fear. But let's say they have visited us. Let's assume that for now. Could they be the cause of paranormal activity? Could it be an alien race cloaked in the shadows just watching us, observing us? Or could what we call ghosts actually be an earthborn, energy-based life form that we still haven't discovered yet? Just recently, 100 new species of life were discovered off the coast of Australia. And I'm sure there's more out there to be found. So ghosts could just be a life form that we know nothing about. A species that has attached itself to humans and lives with us day to day without us even knowing it. It could explain thermal imaging hits. And it's possible that these entities have taken on the memories and characteristics of those who have passed, explaining residual haunting. Hundreds of people, Native Americans and early settlers, are said to have died around these parts over bad deals, greed, theft, and hate. That negative energy has been felt by a number of people I've spoken with. There's always been this link between paranormal activity and the renovation of houses, new wiring outlets and fuse boxes. Could the surge in energy be energizing dormant spirits or fueling residual hauntings? And basements are also hotspots for paranormal activity. Could this be because this is where the underground power lines enter the house? Which sparks the question, how about houses that receive power from poles outside? Could the room closest to that entry point be the most active in the house? And the further we move away from that room, does the activity weaken? But what about a place like Waverly Hills? It's a massive building with limited power and lots of activity. This is where I think we come into play. A house or a building could stay cold for years, but then we come in with all our equipment, and that becomes a feed bag for the spirits, giving them the energy they need to manifest or move objects. And then bigger teams come in with larger equipment. and that supplies them with the energy that they need to become stronger and more active. Over the past 2 decades, we have been saturating the air with energy. Most recently with cell phone signals, cable television, radio waves, satellite TV, satellite radio, and wireless internet. We have submerged ourselves in a consistently flowing energy field. We have created a citywide fear cage. And I do believe in the theory of the fear cage, and that we are all affected by this. But could ghosts be drawing from this energy? Now, I personally wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more ghost sightings at houses, businesses, and even street corners. You've seen it happen, or maybe you've experienced it yourself. Batteries in cameras and flashlights draining in seconds. But why would ghosts, or whatever they are, go after batteries like this? Why wouldn't they draw from battery packs from larger equipment, or just from power outlets in the wall? But maybe they already do. So here's an experiment. Keep an eye on the meter next time you're doing an investigation, and see if more power is being used at the same time you're catching paranormal activity. One urban legend is that there are so many spirits here that died traumatically that there are actual ghost wars taking place in the woods around here. It's no joke. Bands of ghosts are fighting one another, and if you happen to be caught here at night during one of these battles, you may not be able to escape Witch's Castle.
EVPs are my favorite bits of evidence, but they are also the easiest to fake and misinterpret. For someone to fake one, all they have to do is whisper into the mic. As for misinterpretation, everyone hears things differently, and we're going to hear what we want if we're looking to hear something specific. Our brain's translation can turn a common noise into a word or phrase. I was once doing an EVP session, and I caught my stomach growling. I played it back for a friend, and he swore he heard, "How are you?" But this question is about the device itself. How come there are countless EVPs captured on digital devices and tape recorders, but not on larger, more expensive Hollywood equipment? Movies have been shot in every major haunted location, but there isn't a single EVP released by the filmmakers that I've heard of. If you have, please share it.
We've all had traumatic experiences in our lives. And if residual hauntings are possible, couldn't it also be possible that something that happened to us at a younger age is revisiting us now? Could that traumatic event be playing out in a house that we used to live in, even though we're still alive and living in a different town or state? That's just something to think about. I have a piece of evidence I'd like to share with you and get your opinions on. A friend of mine called me into her house here because she was hearing strange noises in her basement. And every once in a while when she was coming down these stairs to do laundry, she'd see shadows pass by. So I came in and I set up 2 cameras. One over in this area here, and one at the top of the stairs pointing down. And here's what I caught. Let me know what you think. Don't miss the surprising conclusion to my investigation here at Witch's Castle, and the reveal of the evidence I captured at the bottom of the stairs, in part 2 of this episode.